Blogging. How long should your posts be? How do you write a good post? That's what we're talking about today in this website workout. So website workouts are all about spending less time tweaking your website and more time making meaningful changes that lead to leads and clients online. I'm Claire from Claire Creative. You can follow along with this series by following the hashtag #MyWebsiteWorkout. Blogging. Okay, let's get into it. Blogging is a great way to share your voice with your audience, to share your expertise, to become better known for what service you provide. It's a great way to have stuff to share on social media. It's a great way to show up on search engines. It's a great way to build your business, grow your mailing list, and all of this good stuff. Maybe you know all of this already, but the actual writing and publishing of posts consistently is easier said than done. I mean, you probably have a lot of ideas of things that you can share with your audience, but delivering that in a way that makes sense to them and actually leads to people signing up to your mailing list or getting in touch with you, it's easier said than done. So today I want to talk you through a structure of a single post, and that this is not about a 6-month content plan or anything. That's another process. I'm going to walk you through a simple process that you can use to just produce more blog content because you're producing it more quickly. So website workout, we're going to start with a warm-up. And your warm-up is to write down that single idea for a blog post that's kind of on your mind that you'd like to share in the coming days. So what is that one post? Not getting bogged down with what the title is just yet, because the title is actually the last thing that we're going to write. So what is that thing that you want to share with your audience in the next few days? And then after that, write down the single key thing that you want them to go away with. What is the clear takeaway? They're going to read this post and they're going to have one concept in their mind. So this is something that I used to struggle with a lot when writing blogs, just wanting to share everything in a single post. And I'm delivering so much information that nobody is able to consume it. So this is something that I learned having been blogging for years. Okay, so you've got your single post idea, the single key takeaway that they're going to get from reading that post. I'm just going to walk you through the process that I use to get it down on paper or on screen. Do a really quick first draft, refine that, and ultimately publish it without having to get too bogged down or lost in the details. Okay, you got your idea, you got your key takeaway. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the first paragraph, second paragraph, the 3 key points and the summary, and at the very end, you write your title. And the reason for writing your title last is sometimes in the writing of a post, you're going to kind of figure out the more specific angle that you're trying to communicate. So, just going to give you a little bit of context of how long a blog post needs to be. So, there's a lot of conflicting advice out there for everything to do with online websites and content and all that kind of stuff. People say that long form content is good for search engines, which is true, but when search engines change their algorithm, it just means that you've got really long posts that nobody wants to read. So don't write a long post for the sake of writing a long post. Another thing that people say is that your posts should be short so that people are actually going to read them. This is kind of true. People do have short attention spans, but if you are, when they're online, and especially on phones, but if you're writing something that is valuable and relevant to them, they're going to read it, you know. It's just about structuring it in a way that they can get through that content without getting bored or lost in the details. You got your idea, you got your one key takeaway. Paragraph 1. What problem is this solving? So this is kind of like the idea that you have for the blog post. What problem is this solving? So we're not getting caught up with grammar or spelling right now. What problem is this solving? Okay, next paragraph. How does that problem show up? Or how is that problem damaging to other areas? So it sounds very, very vague, but if you've got an idea in your mind, this will be a useful kind of structure. So what problem is this solving? Even like the word problem is a kind of a weird word to use, but I'm using it. Here we go. What problem is this solving? What shows up as a result of this problem? And then the next 3 points, it's the real belly of your article. 3 key points that surround this problem and solution, that are interesting in relation to this problem or solution. Whatever those 3 key points are, stick to 3 if you can. If there are more than that, find a way to not have it too, not too much of a tangent. Make sure that these are all valuable and they need to be there, because this is the key to actually having people read your content, having everything be relevant and valuable to it. So, problem, agitate the problem, 3 key points. And then you're going to summarize problem to solution and what value it is to actually solve this problem. So that's your little conclusion at the end. When you've gone through that whole process, take no more than 10 or 15 minutes to do that. That's really, we're just kind of getting ideas down with that process. Everything that needs to be there is now there. Nothing else is allowed to be added. Writing is rewriting. So this quick draft is just going to get you clarity on your idea so that the next version of it is going to be, it's going to look like you knew what you were doing all along. So the next version, the next draft of it is making sure that everything that is there needs to be there and making sure that it is delivered in a way that people can understand. So come back to this video if you're doing this and refer back to it whenever you're writing a post, because this is a great structure to get the idea down, to not get bogged down in perfectionism when you're drafting, and to rewrite as if you knew what was going on the whole time. Okay, so that second draft is, you're really starting to look at how you're phrasing things and getting the right tone in there. And then finally, you're going to look through it one more time to check for that it makes sense, that the grammar is right, that the spelling mistakes are gone. Sometimes I miss spelling mistakes, but you know, you'll forgive me, won't you? So the next thing to do is to get it onto your site, to format it with headings, subheadings, bullet points. And if you have a call to action ready to pop that in there with an image that is relevant to your post and is cohesive with your visual style. So this all sounds easier said than done, but the more you do it, the quicker you'll get, and you'll really find your groove in blogging. So if you've been blogging for a while, you'll know that you kind of maybe have a process, and this is just a way to speed it up. If you haven't been blogging before, this is just a real starter exercise to help you find your style. But the key to everything is to forget about perfectionism. Always consider who's reading this and how you can provide them with value so that they can see you as an expert, see you as a useful source, so that it's building your brand, maybe building your mailing list if people like your style and want to hear more of it. But the key to it all is to publish regularly. Publishing regularly means that you're regularly showing up for your audience and people are remembering who you are, what you do, and that they like your content. That's it. A blog post is as long as it needs to be, as long as you are providing value for your audience. Let's hit publish this week, guys. Bye-bye.